Hey, Terry Zaumi here, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about planning for the birth of your child. And before that, I just want to reintroduce the channel to the people who are coming across it for the first time or who are subscribing for the first time. This is a channel that I created to reach out to first time moms who are expecting the baby or their babies for the first time by sharing information, by encouraging them, by letting them know about the journey of pregnancy, delivery, and after delivery, due to some of the experiences that I went through when I was pregnant with my first baby. So yeah, pretty much that's it. And just sharing information with other moms in the channel. So you're very much welcome as we tackle today's topic, preparing for the birth of your child. There are a few things that I think every first time mom needs to know about or just needs to be aware as they wait for their baby. You might want to get used to a little bit of clutter as a first time mom, especially if you don't have help in the house or if you don't have a stay at home nanny who helps with the babies and the housework. If you have been doing the housework yourself and you plan to be doing the housework yourself when you come back from the hospital, you might want to get used to a little bit of clutter around the house because you do not have much of the time to do all that when you come back from the hospital. Much of your time and energy will be dedicated or directed to the baby. So you might want to get used to that. You might also want to cook beforehand, just maybe a few weeks before your date of delivery. You might want to cook a bit of food and put it in the freezer for easy planning of your meals after the hospital, before you get back in form, or before the baby develops a routine to be able to have just an easy gliding, easy time when you come back from the hospital with your meals, and yeah, such that you don't have to worry about it when it comes to feeding time for your family. You might also want to think about the help or who can help when you come back from the hospital, especially with the baby, and especially if you have other babies. You might need someone to help you with the babies, preparing them, giving them a bath, helping them do their homework, and just helping around with the chores at the house. Is it your parents? Is it your family members? Is it your friends? I mean, talk to them beforehand because honestly, you need all the help that you need when you come back from the hospital. You might also want to think about the things you want to avoid, like unwanted visits the first few weeks after you come back from the hospital. You are overwhelmed as a first time mom. You're just getting used to breastfeeding a baby. You're getting used to, you might also be trying to monitor the routine of the baby, and pretty much your head is full and your body is tired. So you might want to keep people away, kindly for some time until you readjust. It's not, don't feel shy to give people a rendezvous much later. Just explain to them why you're not able to to have them come over to your place as soon as you come back from the hospital. And I think many people will understand that, in a good way. You might also want to visit the place that you will give birth to beforehand because, acquainting yourself with the environment that you will give birth in really helps you get comfortable, the day of delivery and the first few days you stay in the hospital after delivery. It really, makes you comfortable and, calms you down, I think. It really helped me with my first baby. You might also want to know that by visiting the hospital, sometimes you get to know how the parking works, because in some hospitals you have to pay for the parking. um, you will also get to know the process of admission. If you don't know, ask the health practitioners. They will be gracious enough to explain to you the process of admission, such that when you come in, sometimes when you come in and you're in labor and your mind is running around, and you're sometimes you're not just thinking right, and you need to have all these things, to have a prior information of all these things, to just proceed smoothly with stuff. So yeah, I think that's very important. So for the mom, you need your hospital insurance card and any other proof of insurance if you have any. You also need your hospital card for documenting reasons. You also need a pregnancy notebook and the follow-up forms that your doctor was giving you when you are attending the clinics. You also need a notebook and a pen. Sometimes moms forget this. When I talk to, I recently have been talking to first-time moms, and moms who are pregnant for the first time, and a notebook and a pen is not even near near anything that they think they should carry to the hospital when you're going to deliver. There are some forms that you need to sign after you deliver the baby, official signs, official forms, and you basically need a pen. You need to take information. There's some information that the nurses give you after delivery on how to take care of your baby afterwards, and how to take care of yourself, after delivery. You need to take that information down, so you need a notebook and a pen. You also need comfortable clothes for the day, for the night, depending with the weather of the place that you're in. There's some people who are in cold places, others are in warm places, depending with the time of the year as well. Some are experiencing summer, some are experiencing winter. I mean, basically, according to the place where you are, you're able to decide on the kind of comfortable clothes that you need to bring to the hospital with you. You also need slippers, and socks or slip-ons. You need to be comfortable when walking around the hospital. You also need clothes to go home with, a changing outfit to go home with. Okay. You also need 1 or 2 bras, nursing bras, for yourself, because the normal bras really kind of don't work anymore. Well, they work, but they're a bit hectic, so you need bras that you can just clip and unclip easily to help feeding the baby. You also need super maxi pads. Underline the heavy floor pads, because of the bleeding that comes after delivery. You need that. You might also want to buy disposable underwears. Well, you can use your normal underwears, but it's much easier when you get disposable underwears, because sometimes the blood leaks, and it gets to the undies, and then it's a bit hard to remove the stain afterwards. So if you can get disposable underwears, that would really be helpful. You can get them in the pharmacy, or any other drugstore. I'm sure you can get them. You also need snacks for yourself. Examples like muffins, energy bars, cereal bars, and drinks, of course. You need music. You need a book to read, or just any other reading material that's comfortable with you. You need it during the time of waiting, especially when you get an epidural. If you plan to get an epidural, it can really calm you down, and you have time to read, so it's good for you. If your partner is coming with you to the hospital, they also need a bag for themselves. Like, they need clothes, comfortable clothes, that is. They need pajamas if they will be sleeping in the hospital. They need an extra pillow if they plan to sleep in the hospital. They need a toiletry bag as well. For yourself too, you also need a toiletry bag, and you need food and drinks. I mean, both of you really. But for a pregnant mother, you might want to ask your nurse have a when to go back to taking food. You know, you might want to find that out from your nurses. For the baby, you need pajamas, you need an undershirt, you need a hat, you need a blanket to receive the baby, and a going home outfit, and pretty much the small things that the baby needs in the hospital. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Also, something to take note of, most of the times when we are about to give birth, our friends are gracious enough to ask us what we need for a gift when we come back home. You can give them this suggestion. You can ask for frozen food because you will need it, and maybe you didn't have time to cook when you were at home because maybe you were working and you took your leave much later, your maternity leave much later. You can ask for frozen foods. Let them cook, let them freeze the food for you. You can also ask for help coupons that that you can use for redeeming with babysitting, with housework. I mean, all those things. Think outside the box when your friends ask you for a gift. I mean, for the kind of gift you want when you come back home. Yeah, so that is it for today. I will see you next time in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment below with the questions that you have as a first-time mom. I mean, let's get talking. Let's help each other. Let's share information. This is what this channel is about. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.